Hey, and welcome back to NBA Got Game TV. Thanks for tuning in, guys. One of the reasons why the NBA was so exciting in the 80s and in the 90s were the great rivalries. There were so many great teams that really didn't like each other, and you could really see it on the court. So in this video, we will feature some of the greatest rivalries in the 1990s. This video will be part one, since there were so many rivalries, so we had to make two of them. And before we forget it, if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And without any more blah blah, let's go. We're gonna start off our list with the Indiana Pacers-New York Knicks rivalry. Two cities that couldn't be more different, but two teams that couldn't be more alike. Centered around their star players Reggie Miller, John Starks, and Patrick Ewing, this rivalry really took off in the 90s. Having some of the most historic performances in NBA history, this matchup was basketball at its best. Unforgettable are such performances like Reggie Miller's 8 points in 9 seconds.
94 was the Pacers coming out party, but it really started in 93. We had played them in the first round series the year before and lost in 5 games. That's when I kind of knew that we could compete on that stage. You fast forward to 1994 in the Eastern Conference Finals. We beat Atlanta, who I thought was the #1 seed at that time. Now you're going against the #2 seed, the bullies on the block, the #1 media market, Patrick Ewing, Pat Riley, and the Knicks. And you're on center stage.
This is for you, Indiana. We're coming back. Yeah.
What I just said, I wanted to put Indiana on the map. Well, what better place to do it than going against the #1 media market team and the Knicks.
18.7 seconds left. Miller for 3, and he got it. Reggie Miller with a clutch tray, and it's 105-102. And a steal. Miller retreats to the three-point line and hits again. Reggie Miller has tied the game with 13 seconds remaining. Reggie Miller made a 3, stole the ball, raced behind the three-point line, and hit again.
One of the greatest clutch playoff performers of his generation has apparently done it again.
Next on our list, the Miami Heat-Chicago Bulls rivalry. When Pat Riley took over the Miami Heat organization, he took his New York Knicks mentality with him. After the Miami Heat added Alonzo Mourning and Tim Hardaway to their roster, the Miami Heat suddenly had a personality. With Kurt Thomas, Jamal Mashburn, and PJ Brown, the Miami Heat were loaded with enforcers. Riley already had bad experiences with the Chicago Bulls in his New York Knicks days, and his new team continued where the Knicks stopped. The Bulls versus the Miami Heat in the 90s were battles. Even though the Bulls always beat the Miami Heat in the playoffs, it was never an easy round.
All right, thanks, Marv. I talked to Michael Jordan about the loss on Monday. He said some good things happened to that. He said the bad things were we got beaten and we got beaten up, and our pride took a hit. He said, but what that did is that brought our whole team together as a group and really improved our focus. He said even championship teams need a wake-up call, and he said that was theirs. Now, Michael has been saying all week that this series is personal. If you watch here as the two captains meet in the middle of the court, I guess you'll see that this is what Michael meant by it's all personal. Watch Michael. And by the way, another thing, Marv, Michael, after practice today, went out and played golf. Shouldn't affect
Going to bang away at each other as Alonzo Mourning foul from behind.
Look out, Rodman. Pippen changed his mind. Rodman trying to draw the foul on Mourning. Here's Pippen from 3. Jordan with the rebound. And move alone. And here comes taking each other to the floor.
Once again, Mourning getting pushed by Dennis Rodman and then coming in with that elbow first. And Alonzo has been throwing the elbows around. I think he caught Rodman with that right elbow on the side of the head. He's already gotten Pippen twice. And Rodman realized exactly what was going on, tried to tie up and did. And the takedown.
We're just under 5 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Crowd has been very quiet here in the 4th. Not much to cheer for from the Chicago point of view. The offense has struggled. And Rodman and Mourning get involved once again. And then Dennis Rodman saving the moment by patting Alonzo Mourning, who did not appreciate the
Talking about Pat Riley, well, Pat Riley's former team against Pat Riley's current team, the New York Knicks versus the Miami Heat. one of the most and brutal rivalries in NBA history. The Knicks haven't forgiven Pat Riley that he left the way he did to sign with the Miami Heat. Two teams that had exactly the same playing style, and both teams had many warriors on their roster. One of the most memorable battles were the two former teammates Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning going at it. These games were a war.
P.J. Brown throws Charlie Ward. Watch out. This one's going to get really ugly. P.J. Brown tricked Charlie Ward up and threw him into the photographer's row. I don't know what began this struggle, but I did see P.J. Brown pick Ward up and heave him upside down.
And I guarantee you this is the reason you threw Charlie Ward down and the Knicks guys are getting involved, because he's the guy that they love on this team. This is just ridiculous.
Hardaway, no. Rebound, New York. And fists are flying at the other end. Larry Johnson is one of them. Here we go. Oakley and Mourning have at each other. And both of those guys will not play in Game 5. I guarantee you that. Van Gundy out. I don't know if it was Oakley. I couldn't see. I saw Johnson throwing punches. I think it was Larry Johnson. Pat Riley has made so much, as have his teammates, of the composure of Alonzo Mourning the last half of the season. I thought it was Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning.
Next on our list are the Sacramento Kings and the Los Angeles Lakers. This was a very interesting rivalry. In the late 90s, both the Kings and the Lakers were becoming two dominant teams in the NBA. But the Sacramento Kings had a very fun-loving and unselfish and entertaining style, and they were being successful with it. Shaquille O'Neal later admitted that his team wished they played like the Kings. Chris Webber, Jason Williams, Vlade Divac, Doug Christie, Peja Stojakovic. The entire Kings roster was loaded with great passes. The Lakers, on the other hand, had the two most dominant players in the NBA, Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. Both teams fought incredible battles on the court. This rivalry continued until the mid-2000s. Last but not least, the Chicago Bulls versus the New York Knicks. Yes, it's one of the greatest rivalries in NBA history. Patrick Ewing and his New York Knicks tried everything to overcome Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. These games were always so intensive and simply war on the court. Many of these games are considered to be classics, as well as some of the most spectacular scenes in playoffs history.
Out of 10 out of 24. Out of 5. Look out. It's Walker and Pippen getting involved. Offensive foul. That's number 2 on the X-Man. The timeout was called. Both clubs going at each other. Michael Jordan and Xavier McDaniel having words. Double technicals were called on McDaniel and Jordan.
What we said a moment ago, down on the baseline foul, that Jake O'Donnell was stepping in to send the message. This is step number 2 in the message sending process. The next one, someone's going to be ejected from this basketball game, which is a